Hi, I'm Dean's sister. I'm going to try my best to guide you through my recipe for coxinhas. I get a little uncomfortable on camera, so I hope that it's easy enough for you to follow. And I'm also going to give Dean the instructions to put in the description, just as something for you to look back on if you do decide to give it a try. Anyway, I hope that it goes well. Thank you. Right guys, you have to bear with me because I'm not really used to this kind of thing, but this is how I start off my coxinha recipe. In the saucepan here, I just have 3 cups of water. That's around 700 millilitres if you're doing it in millilitres. I add in 3 knorr stock cubes to the water. I chop the onion only into quarters, nothing major. I add 2 bay leaves. I cut up 2 carrots. I don't peel them or anything because the water is mainly for stock. And then I use that to boil the chicken breast for the coxinha recipe. So just give me a minute and I will just soften the knorr cubes. Right, so the chicken stock has now been melted with 100 millilitres of water, and I just add it in now. Right, and there's the carrots. They've been washed and just roughly chopped into 3 bits really. 2 bay leaves, then the quartered onion. I took the ends off and the outside. That's now all in there, so I just add the chicken breast and bring the water to boil. Right, so the chicken has been left for 20 minutes and is now ready. This is the broth, which I'm just going to strain all the veg out of. I don't want to come out, it's fine. So that all we're left with is just the chicken broth. There, because we're going to use that later. So yeah, we're going to use that later, but we'll come back to that in a bit. First, I'm just going to shred the chicken. And the way I do it, that I find easier, is I just do it with 2 forks. So I just break it apart, and then obviously, well, not obviously, but yeah, I use one to hold it down, and then just shred from the chicken. Just use the 2 of them to go against each other. So that's the chicken. Once it's finished, you can shred the chicken whatever's suitable to you really. Hands, you can use the 2 forks or a food processor. But yeah, so that's that done. Yeah. Right, so now I've got a couple knobs of butter in a frying pan that I'm going to melt right now. Once it's melted, I've already prepared my garlic. That's 2 cloves of garlic that's been crushed, and half a small onion that's been very finely diced. So I melt the butter and just fry that up for a couple of minutes until it's all really soft and stuff. Right, so the butter's been melted, and I'm just going to add the garlic and onion at the same time, and I'm going to do it on a medium heat for around 5 minutes, and then after that we'll add the chicken. Right, so the chicken's added, and just really sort of mix it all up. Right, we'll remove that from the heat now. Right, we're going to add some ground black pepper. Just sprinkle a bit on. And salt, just to taste. And we've got a tub of Philadelphia cream cheese. If you wanted to use a different version of cheese, that's completely up to you. Like a different version of the Philadelphia, if you wanted the one with chives or black pepper, I don't know, whatever suits your taste really. Yeah, we'll just put the whole lot in. And that is 180 grams. And voila, that's the filling completed for the coxinhas. So I'll be back in a minute so that you know what you're doing with the stock that you've got left over. Right, so now back onto the dough, and here's the stock that we had earlier. I've measured up 1.5 cups of the stock that we used to boil the chicken. That's 350 mils. I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of full fat milk, 350 mils if you're doing it in mils. And then I have 50 grams of butter, unsalted butter, that I'm going to add in. So we're just going to boil this up now, so that it all melts and mixes together. So once it's boiling, we'll bring you back to the last step. Yeah. So I have continuously mixed this because obviously milk can get a bit like, it can burn at the bottom of the pan, so I have constantly mixed it, and we're now reaching boiling point. So what I've done is I've now turned it down to a medium heat, and we have 450 grams of plain flour. Now I'm just gonna add it. It's not sifted or anything, it's just as it is. And yeah, I just add in the whole lot, and then we just mix it all together until it forms a nice dough. Now it does start getting really, really tough. Looks that's now completed. The dough's done. So we're just going to turn the heat off and leave it to cool for about 10 minutes so that we can then handle it in order to form the outside of our coxinhas. Right, so this is the step from the one step before the last step, obviously. But here we've got the dough, and yeah, I just knead it out for a little bit, just make sure it's all sort of blended in together nicely. As you can see, it's still hot, but it's not too hot for me. So yeah, so it's all kneaded in. We used to have a different way that we used to make this, and the dough was just really, it was awful to work with. It was so sticky. We had to use butter in order to form the moulds. So anyway, I get a little, say, golf ball size. Just roll it into a ball, and then obviously just pat it out. So it's evenly sort of spread out all around. And I get a decent teaspoon size, like say heaped teaspoon. We'll just place that in the middle. And then we form the rest of the dough around it. So just sort of cup it round and just push it all in together. I mean, the dough's so soft, it's easy to sort of just blend it all back in, so you just get a nice ball shape. But you can, I mean, if you want, you can make them bigger. I just usually make these as a little sort of buffet kind of food. So basically they're kind of just like small portions of something that always goes anyway. Everyone loves them. And there we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, perfectly neat or anything, unless you're a bit OCD about it, but no one's going to see that, because now that you've got this formed, all you do is you dip this in egg mixed up, just dip it in, and then obviously get your breadcrumbs on, and I leave it for about an hour before cooking it after the breadcrumbs are on, just so that the breadcrumbs sort of set in. So there you go, that's one of them done, and we'll show you what it looks like after we've got the breadcrumbs on and once it's been cooked. Right, so these are the finished product. I fried them on a medium heat for approximately 10 minutes. And yeah, there you go. Done, ready to be eaten.